What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. It's your boy Speaks the Beast. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If at any moment during this video you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that like button. If you got something to say, leave it in the comment section. Today, we're going to watch some clips from the Thanksgiving podcast. She's got Karlous Miller on there. Sarah has Karlous Miller on there. And they are hitting on some good topics. First topic is all women want to get married. That's what she said, and she breaks down as to why and as to how she came to that conclusion. The next topic is going to be, can you turn a hoe into a housewife, right? She asked Karlous this. You guys are going to be thrilled with his answer. And last but not least, she speaks on how dating shouldn't cost a thing. She's going to give her piece on that. I'm going to jump into that and give my 2 cents on it. Without further ado, let's get into these clips.
Nobody's really thinking long term.
You don't think?
I don't.
I think all women want to be married. 99% of women want to be married. And I think a lot of women are now saying they don't want to be married because they've had so much rejection or haven't been married, or there's no actual pursuit in marriage, or they're sleeping with so many different people that now they're saying, I don't want marriage. Why do we need marriage?
What do you guys think about that? She said 99% of women want to be married. Now, when it comes to that, I actually agree. I actually agree that 99% of women do want to be married. And a lot of times when you find women who don't want to be married, it's because they face rejection, or they don't qualify for the men who they desire, right? That's a thing, right? So a lot of times you'll get a lot of women who can actually get the men that they desire sexually, but from a committal standpoint, they cannot secure that man long term. And a lot of times after a woman has failed time and time again, she will want to turn away from marriage. And sometimes women see bad examples of marriage, or they may know somebody who went through some things within the marriage, or they may have went through some things during childhood, some abuse, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that has turned them off from bonding with somebody. Let's keep going.
Doesn't matter. And I don't think that's true.
The reverse psychology of it.
Yeah. That's what I think. You think most women want to be married?
Possibly. But I think if you really just put them in a situation where it's like, you want to get married for real right now, everything's paid for right here, I don't think they'll do it.
I agree with them. A lot of women would stall. A lot of women would get cold feet if you really put them on the spot right there. They would get cold feet.
I think it's just a great talking point.
I
don't think nobody really ready to lock in forever.
Now, I disagree with him on that. I think most people are ready to settle down and lock in forever. Again, I think most people, now I'm talking about adults, right, are ready to settle down and lock in forever. If you put the man or the woman who they desire, right, in their life, I think they would very much so be ready to lock in and be done with it forever. The problem is, again, it's all about who do you qualify for. You have men and women chasing people who they don't qualify for. So what ends up happening is they end up talking to these people who they really don't have a strong desire for. And they'll even sometimes get in relationships with them, and they will string that person along, right, for as long as they can. And they may even love them and all that good stuff. But a lot of times when these people start talking and they're very hesitant on getting relationships and marriage, it's because they're bonded with the person who they don't truly desire. So again, if you were to put the person who they do truly desire, or someone who they do truly desire in their life, oh, they'll shut down shop, right? Because when you do that, when you move that way, when you bond with someone, especially who you desire, right, you're able to eliminate a lot of problems that many of us deal with in life, right? Whether it be building, legacy, children, avoiding STDs and everything else going on out here, right? You want to avoid all those things. And when you're able to build with someone, that makes life 10 times easier. So most people would actually settle down and call it quits if you put the person who they desire in their lives. Let's keep going.
Like right now, like
Are-
if you had to really just like lock in right now,
Yeah.
new life, throw all your hoes away,
Yeah.
no spinning the block,
Yeah.
no DMs,
Yeah.
no just one person. Not a lot of people don't want to do that right now.
You don't think so?
And the thing is, of course, you're going to have individuals who want multiple women, want multiple men. Of course, those people exist, right? Nothing is absolute. You're going to have individuals who want to test out everything, right? They want to try this, try that, right? They like a good variety. Of course, that's going to exist. But the vast majority of people, they don't want all the confusion. They don't want to juggle and deal with a whole lot of people. They want to commit to the person who they desires. And again, a lot of times, many people don't get that. They don't get who they truly want and desire, and they don't get who they truly align with. That's another thing. Who you align with mentally, who you align with spiritually. That's very, very important. A lot of people are not getting that. A lot of people are compromising and say, okay, I guess that's cool. Oh, okay, I guess I can overlook that. Oh, okay, I guess I can deal with that. That's what a lot of people are doing. But if you put someone in their life who they truly align with and have a true desire for, people will be settling down left and right. Let's keep going.
Nah, if there's too much going on.
Well, to be honest, I don't think a lot of women actually believe they deserve it.
What you mean?
I don't think a lot of women. I'm gonna go
Go
all the way.
ahead, say it.
I feel like because we are living in a world right now where we have so many single moms, and I think that a lot of single moms are softening their sons and hardening their daughters. I think that women that didn't have a father in the home, it's like a wound, like a deeply embedded wound for a lot of women, not all women. But when that happens, it's almost like, why wouldn't I choose a man that would leave because my dad did? Why wouldn't I choose a man that didn't show me that I was enough? Because that's what, when my dad didn't do that, you know?
Now, that's a part of it, as far as the father figure in their life and all that good stuff. But I think a lot of women don't think they deserve it because of what they've been through, as far as if they dealt with multiple men, uh, if they've been rejected, if they've bonded with men and all it was sex and they thought it was going to be more. Those are reasons why a lot of women feel like they don't deserve it. The woman could know she has a certain type of attitude and she's not willing to change it. She can have a certain type of mentality. She can listen to family and friends a lot, and she know that she's listening to them on things that men don't agree with. She can feel like she's not deserving of it. She can feel like she's not deserving of it if she already has children by another man. I mean, she's not fit. She's not healthy. Her hair isn't up to par, right? Her financial situation. There are a lot of reasons why women feel like they are not deserving of marriage, right? We can go on with that one. Let's keep going.
Like, why would I? Why would I? Why would I? But I think that for a woman that actually values marriage, even with the fear, because there is a thing about being afraid of commitment, but still doing it anyway. It's like building business. I hate every step that I've had to take and build brick by brick by brick by brick, but also that's the most beautiful part about it. So if you really want something, you move in alignment with that thing. And what we have in our life is a reflection of what we believe we deserve. So if you feel like having frivolous sex with strangers all the time as a woman, I think that's some level of trauma and mental illness.
It may be, but it may be a choice also.
Most cases, it's not.
Hand-stitched leather boots deliver lasting comfort. Arch support eases pain, keeps autumn walks.
I think everybody got some healing to do.
I think we all do too.
Yeah.
But I do
In
think
a
that there's
sense.
certain things that we as women could control.
Well, I think a lot of women. I think a lot of women do want the aspect of marriage, but they don't want the responsibility of being a wife.
Do you think men want the responsibility of being a husband?
Of course. I think most men want a family and some loyalty and somebody that's gonna love them. And
From one woman?
yeah,
Do you think he could be faithful? Do you think all men cheat? All men that have options cheat?
nah,
No?
nah.
Are-
You'd be surprised how much men don't cheat,
Really?
even though that's like controversial. But
That's true. Remember, there's only a certain amount of men who can cheat, right? There's only a certain percentage of men who have those types of options when they get in these relationships. See, a lot of women think all men cheat. And the truth is, most men, once they get one, like they don't have all these other options. And again, remember, men are very loyal. Men are loyal. Of course, there are men who aren't, right? Nothing's absolute, but men are very loyal. So a lot of times when these men are bonding with women, that's it. They're locked in. They're gonna do whatever it takes to be with that woman, right? To get the woman's good, so on and so forth. A lot of men, or most men, are very loyal. And again, they don't have the options to cheat. And even men who do have the option to cheat, many of them don't do it. I was a man for years who always had access to many women. But if I get in a relationship or a marriage, I'm shutting everything down. I'm proud of who I got. Otherwise, I wouldn't bond with that person, right? I'm going to lock in. If I need to deal with other women, I'm not going to bond with this other woman or the woman who I chose. I'm not going to bond with her if I need other women for whatever reason. I'm just not going to bond. But a lot of men have that same mentality, but it gets misconstrued out here about all men cheat, all men this, all men that. All men got to have all the women. That is not true. Now, these men ain't blind. So, of course, if they see something attractive, they're going to look for the most part. But that does not mean that all men cheat. That is the biggest lie ever told.
men turn down a lot of opportunities too.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? When
'Cause
everyone is saying it's animalistic, it's in their nature, it's all these things. Like, why?
it is, but it's not though, because we're not going. We like I can't say we do all the time, but sometimes men weigh out the consequences of the good and the bad. Men 100% know when they have a good woman, and we recognize when we mess it up.
Yeah.
After a while, when you're young and you're a young man and you got a lot of fire and testosterone, of course you're gonna want to see the world. But then as you get older and you start to realize that, hey, some of this stuff, it's not worth it. It's just sex. I got something real. I got somebody who I can trust. I got a lady I can throw my card that I know she gonna do the right thing, or I know she gonna take care of this for me. And we started this business together, and she do my payroll, and it's just not worth it.
Have you ever experienced that type of woman?
Yes.
Why didn't you marry her?
And they kind of go off into a whole thing. We're going to move on. I just want to touch on the point about women wanting to be married and women also not feeling like they were worthy of, marriage. Those women who don't feel like they're worthy. Let's jump over to this next part.
But do you feel like you can turn a hoe into a housewife?
Hoes make the best housewives.
Why?
Y'all hear that? She said, can you turn a hoe into a housewife? And he said, hoes make the best housewives. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Let me hear it in the comment section. Can you turn a hoe into a housewife? And my brother said, hoes make the best housewife. Now, before he keep going, let me get my 2 cents on it. Now, this is a tricky one, right? On one sense, you don't want a wife who was a former hoe, or whatever the case may be. At the same time, this brother saying hoes make the best housewives, I can also see that point too, because a lot of times these quote unquote hoes will do it all. I'm gonna just keep it 100. A lot of these hoes out here will do it all, whether you're talking in the bedroom, whether you're talking about cooking, cleaning, whatever, right? A lot of these quote unquote hoes, they like to serve a man, right? And the problem is a lot of them just serve too many men, and that's how they get the name of a hoe. They done dealt with too many men. But a lot of them, though, they have the spirit of serving, right? That servitude is in them. Right? They like to do this, they like to do that, they like that, right? And a lot of times what happened was they got with one and did a lot, He ain't keep her. They got with another, he ain't keep her. You see what I'm saying? And the cycle kept going on. But the spirit of a lot of these quote unquote hoes, they gonna do what you need them to do a lot of times. It's just that a lot of men don't keep them because they know about that woman's past, and they like, nah, I can't wipe this chick up. She done been with too many dudes. But a lot of times, again, that hoe can make the best housewife. I'm not telling people to go for a hoe. Hey, brother, I ain't saying that. You want a good, wholesome woman. But to answer the question, you can do it. Do I advise it? Nah, not necessarily. But in some cases, hoes do make the best housewife. And I'm not saying from experience. I'm not saying that I've been bonded to one. But I know where he's coming from. Let's keep going.
Why?
Because they know what men like. That's why they successful hoes. You never seen a hoe in action?
No.
Go to a Super Bowl party.
Okay.
Go to a Super Bowl party. Watch how a hoe work the room.
How she do it?
She know how to talk to every dude in there.
Okay.
The hoe is bringing the chips out. She gonna stay a little later, hit them dishes.
That's not a hoe. I do that.
But I'm saying though, the hoes know what men like. They study men the same way. Like,
That's true.
they got it. You could put them in a room with anybody, and
But I'm saying if
they gonna
she's
find
ran
the money.
through.
They gonna find the opportunities.
I disagree with what you're saying because I do all these things that you're saying, and I have never been a hoe a day of my life.
I believe it.
Promiscuously.
I believe it.
That's true, Sarah. But look, nothing's absolute. Nothing's absolute. We're not saying that every woman who do that is a hoe, or you would have to be a hoe to move that way. But what the brother is saying, what Karlous is saying, is a lot of times these hoes know what men like, and they move.
So I'm saying, like, promiscuous women.
Yeah.
Would you marry a promiscuous
Would
woman?
I?
Yeah.
At this age, I don't think that it's avoidable.
Woo!
What?
I don't.
How?
Oh, yeah. And see, that's funny. He said that he keeping it real. This brother, and look, y'all on here with Speech to Beast. This is what I like. I like real conversations. That's why y'all should subscribe. I'm gonna keep it real on every topic. Listen, the brother is saying he's 42 years old. If he meets another woman who's around his age, more than likely, he's saying that she's gonna been dealt with a certain amount of dudes. You know, all those years of having sex. What's that? 22, 24 years of having sex, right? Those numbers add up fast, right? 1 or 2 dudes a year, or 1 dude a year, or maybe if she's in a relationship, it is a good chance that maybe she wasn't. Let me say it like that. If she was in a relationship, then or marriage, then cool. A lot of them years is gonna be with one guy. Or, they're gonna say celibacy, they're gonna throw that out there. Sure. But the brother, he's just saying that a lot of times these women over the years, you get all them years, you up in age, they're gonna have some bodies on them. Let's keep going.
Think about it, right? I'm 42.
Okay.
If I meet a woman who's 42, she been for the last 27 years. That's a lot of.
That's if she's been single for 27 years.
She probably has.
And I feel like at least every woman, for the most part, most of them go through a celibacy stage.
No, that's a trick.
No, it's not. It's not.
All right. I'm okay. All right. You got it.
And it's hard to say, right? A lot of them throw that celibacy out there. Sometimes it's true. I think it's true. But sometimes I also think it's a lie. So it's hard to really say.
Look, I'm a woman. I'm just saying, most women, now there are a lot of women that are like, I've never done this before. And then I'm sure they do.
I'm going to do one of those man on the street interview things for you. And I'm going to go outside and I'm just going to walk up to some ladies and ask them, when the last time you had sex? I bet you the average answer is about between 3 to 9 months ago.
No.
Every time we meet a woman, they tell us this. I haven't had sex in so long.
True.
I haven't been dealing with
It's true.
It's the same script every time.
It's true. It's rare to meet a woman. And when y'all start talking about that, they say, oh, well, last week or a couple of weeks ago. Nah. They always say some long distance, as far as time, so you won't be worried about nobody backdooring you. You know what I'm saying? They'll never tell you, oh, it's, if they was more real about it, then it would be believable. You know what I mean? But when they throw that, oh, I ain't had sex in 9 months. Mm. It's like, do I believe that? It sounds good, so we're gonna roll with it because I'm approving unless I just become a top-notch investigator, right? Hey, it is what it is.
So do you believe when a woman is actually celibate? How do you know
No,
when she's actually
I don't
celibate?
believe nobody's celibate. I don't believe that. How much you got to do that you need a break? No, I don't never
It's
believe
not
that.
that you need a break. It's that
All right, that was a good one. That was a good one. I don't know. I think with the celibacy, I think it's true. At least in half cases. Half case, the woman says she's celibate. I think it's true. Let's jump to this next one.
no money on her. If you do, put a $25 cap.
Have fun with them though, especially when you could tell she ain't used to the nice stuff.
This is when she's gonna say how dating shouldn't cost early on.
Take her to the nice place. She used to stuff, so you got to break the cycle of what she used to.
Yeah, but then you get it for the night because she's so grateful that she had a brand new experience. But that's not who you actually want.
What you mean?
I think that when you desire partnership from the beginning, it shouldn't cost you anything. Like if you're dating with the intention of marriage, you're dating with the intention of building with somebody or adding somebody to your life, whatever that looks like, it shouldn't cost you anything.
Now, see what she's saying sounds good in theory, right? It sounds good in theory. But the truth is, if you dating somebody these days, you're gonna have to spend some bread at some point. Maybe not on the first date. And sometimes, you get those good situations where y'all just kick it, right? And then like maybe out in public somewhere, y'all kick it, it didn't cost. And then like y'all are going to each other's house or apartments or whatever people got going on. Y'all there, y'all chilling, y'all watching TV. You start living a regular life and you're eating here and there. Or maybe y'all cooking. Those are great situations. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't really have to spend, no money or a whole lot of money, right? But a lot of times these days, people are pocket watching. So they gauging everything off of what you're spending and how you're moving with that. That's just the way it is. I agree with what she's saying. And again, it sounds good in theory, but a lot of cats gonna have to spend that bread. And I'm speaking in a generality, because me personally, I might be somebody who can go out here and not have to spend a dime and women just be all on me, because of the personality. Maybe they find me highly attractive. They like this about me. They like my assets. They like the house, whatever the case may be. That's me though. I can't put this on me and how, my luck has been. When we speak to the masses, I got to talk about most men's experiences. And most men out here is going to have to spend that bread. Let's just keep it 100. But what she's saying sounds good in theory, but you're going to come up off of something. Most guys will. Some won't, most will.
Because the truth is, your energy and sitting here and having a conversation is enough for me. We could go have tea. Okay, spend $10. I'm okay with that. Because I also don't think that people are realistic in the sense where single people are dating more than one person at a time. So if I'm spending $350 on you as a man and I'm going on 2 of these dates a week, that's $700 a week times 4. That's $2,800 a month, right? So it's like if you're spending $2,800 a month just to interview somebody on the first date, I don't think that's the point. You don't even know if you like that person. You don't even know if there's chemistry. You don't even know if your energy is connected or anything. So I think first few dates, don't spend no money on her. If you do, put a $25 cap on it.
And do what?
Go to Dairy Queen and get some blizzards. Go to the park
Then y'all
and
can
feed
go
the
home
geese.
and together.
Hey, that's right. 25 on what? Now you can do it now. Like again, a guy like me can do that. A guy like me can do that. But most guys is not gonna pull that off. They just can't. A lot of them. I don't necessarily agree with it, but a lot of cats leading with their wallet, having to lead with their wallet just to impress that woman in some way, shape, or form. It's just the reality of it. You have to spend something. Should you have to? I say no. But then again, it could open up a whole nother conversation. Maybe you bond with a woman who does accept you with your wallet closed. Maybe that's another conversation. I think that's worth talking about. And I actually agree with it. Let's keep going.
You go over there and I'll go over here and we'll meet in the
No,
living
but this
room.
is the thing too. By the time your stomach starts bubbling, it's time to go anyway. 3 hours later, y'all shouldn't still be together. You give somebody a
Short
chance
day.
to miss you, to want you, to desire you, to want to know more. If you give it all on that first date, including your body.
You packed a healthy lunch, and most of it came right back home.
Does it happen? Yes, but that's the exception to the rule. Most times
Them be
it
the
doesn't
best days,
last.
though.
Yeah, but they don't last.
Yeah, they do.
No, they
All
don't.
the relationships that start off like that last a long time.
That's not true. Well, the question also is, what's the goal?
What do you mean?
Is the goal to be in a relationship, or is the goal to have marriage? Because those are very different experiences. You're talking about a dating experience. That's great. If you want to go have fun.
But relationships lead to marriage, right? You know, I can't say that everybody in a relationship is wanting marriage, but for the most part, I think if you get in a committed relationship, one or the other person, if not both, want marriage, if not both. So, I mean, I hear it, but they leave. But I see what she's saying. You shouldn't have to spend your money like that early on. But is that the reality of the situation? Typically not.
Eat, travel, buy things, do whatever, like that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But for people that are marriage minded, I just don't feel like dating should cost you anything up front. I just don't. As a man, it's too expensive. It's too much. It's too much to even ask for.
Yeah, but fellas, you gotta also keep in mind, ain't nobody making you spend your money. That's
True.
on you. If you feel like that's what you gotta do it.
But
All right, guys. We're going to end that one right there. You saw that, you heard that. What are your thoughts on that? Should men have to spend money early on? Should a woman accept a man with his wallet closed? Right? I think, yeah. But 9 times out of 10, it ain't going to happen, right? Unless you bond with somebody and it's a truly good, genuine connection, right? So I give it that. The first topic, right? Do all women want to be married? Do 99% of women want to be married? I think so. The ones who don't, there are some strong reasons behind it, right? You know, maybe they don't feel like they qualify. Maybe they can't get the guy who they desire. Maybe they've already been through a lot of hard times and they burnt out, right? It's many reasons if they fall in that 1%. But I would say 99% do want it. It just may not be a realistic thing for them to obtain with the man who they desire, right? Next, can you turn a hoe into a housewife? That whole conversation, that was a good one. You most certainly can. I don't advise it. But what he was saying was hoes make the best housewives because they know what men want and they are willing to serve and please a man. I agree with some of that to a degree, but I don't advise it though. I don't advise it, but I will say that, like he said, some hoes do make the best housewives. Let me say that. And I'm not necessarily saying that from experience, unless I have been with one of these women and I didn't fully have a clear view on their past, right? You know, maybe there was one and I don't know. I'm willing to own up to that, right? Next, again, we already covered all three of them. What are your thoughts, guys? Like the video, share the video, leave a comment in the comment section. I might be off on this. And remember to subscribe and share this with your family and friends because we don't want to be successful by ourselves. Remember, guys, come on in, subscribe, lock in with me. I want to do some lives. I want to do some panels. I want to bring some people on. I want to have these conversations amongst you all, right? But remember this, keep God first. I love you all. Be blessed.